Show all the pets.
Hey everyone, I'm Max,
Jay.
and we're the Non-Binary Nomads. Okay, for a while back, we got a bunch of questions from our Instagram followers. Jay here has been drinky, so that's going to make this all the best.
I'm kind of sweaty now.
Oh no, a little bit of rosé is making their face glow.
I love rosé.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
This is water, by the way. I'm not drinking this much rosé.
First question. How many pets do you have?
4 and 1 moss ball.
Yes. So the moss ball is named Moss Landon, which is not going to be funny to anyone unless you live in the Monterey County area. We have a place called Moss Landing down the road, and so we call him Landon. And
we consider him a pet because he's supposed to live to be 100.
Yeah, we've only had him for like less than a year.
Yeah,
so
he outlived my fish.
It's going to be
R.I.P.
a while. Yeah. Okay, we have 3 cats.
Oh, let's go find him.
Okay, I'll give you the rundown of all the cats. Quincy is our gray cat. We got her from one of our old roommates who moved. Okay, here comes Voldemort. This is Morty. Yes.
She's got boobs.
She's got boobs.
Wait, can you see him in the lighting?
Chews off the hair on her tummy.
You think she has anxiety?
Yeah, we haven't figured it out quite yet. She got hit by a car. Her original name was Izzy. We found her on the side of the road, and she wasn't supposed to grow or live past a year, and now she's 5 or 6 maybe. She's our outdoor kitty who goes backpacking with us. This is Quincy. Hello, Queen. Quincy is our big kitty. She is gray and white, and she hates being manhandled and videos. She was the one who was left with us from a old roommate who became a flight attendant. She and Jay have a amazing bond, and so they will forever and always be connected at the hip. You just lost your spot to Quincy.
That's okay.
This is Rafiki, also known as Rafi.
Look
He
at
is
the
our
camera.
anxious little black and white boy kitty. We also call him a noodle because he's very long. Do the gun thing. He likes to be touched. He's one of those cats that you can, make sound like a gun and then like shoot people with them, quote unquote. I don't know how you'd explain that.
Okay, last one.
He's like 4 or 5. I don't know. He was found in a dumpster. And this is Bosley, also known as Boseltoff. He is our Boston Terrier who is too long to be just a purebred Boston Terrier. He's 26 pounds.
Very long arms.
He loves long walks on the beach, candlelight dinners. He prefers steak as his go-to meal.
That's what I feed him for his birthday.
He's kind of a cider guy, you know. He really appreciates a crisp cider before bed.
He's 10.
He's 10.
Here's a better view. There he is.
Yes, so we have 4.5 pets.
I'm not bringing out the moss ball.
Okay, Moss Landon's going to stay in the back where he belongs. You lost your spot to Quincy. Cool. Next question. Oh, we do not want any more cats, just so everybody knows.
No more cats.
No more cats. We're planning on moving into an RV at some point, and having 3 cats and a dog is already going to be terrible. So, no more cats.
I didn't even want cats to begin with, but I do love our cats.
They all found us, which is what it is. How did you get involved in backpacking?
I went on a backpacking trip. Well, I've been hiking since I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I'm out of breath from holding all those pets. They're kind of heavy.
You know where to go?
No, I'm good. Okay. So my first backpacking trip was for I think it was my 26th birthday. I'm not really sure. But I decided I wanted to do a local backpacking trail in the area. There's like hot springs at the end. So I was like, sounds great. It was 10 miles out, 10 miles back. Pretty moderate trail. It wasn't too bad. But we just did not plan, and we did not have any of the proper equipment. As I said in a past video, I had a regular backpack, and then I strapped like a smaller backpack to the outside of that backpack. And we brought like a lot of really unnecessary things. And then,
Frisbee?
Frisbees are fine for some people. It's just not necessary. We did have a Frisbee. We had like...
Marshmallows?
Yeah, we did have marshmallows, but like it was too damp the whole time. We couldn't have a fire because it was springtime, and around here it's pretty damp in the spring.
Yeah.
Oh, just a lot of things. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
So that was a mess.
Yeah, but the trip was fun for what it was. Could have been better. My feet ended up hurting incredibly bad at the end of the trip because I just bought hiking shoes.
Did you bring a second pair of shoes?
No. No, I just bought hiking shoes and they ended up killing my feet at the end of the day. Highlight of the trip, though, was we went during Firebelly newt breeding season. And it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen hiking. And I haven't seen it since. So that was really cool. They were everywhere. You had to watch where you stepped because they move really slow and you could step on them. It was just really cool. YouTube it.
I got started backpacking because, I don't know. I was part of the Boy Scout group with my brother, and they did a bunch of backpacking, and family was allowed, so I did that. And then my dad started bringing us out to like Texas and Arkansas a little bit after that. I joined the Marine Corps, and we did some backpacking that was not fun at all. It was way heavy. And then at some point, I ended up on the PCT and did the first 200 miles without really having the right gear or knowing what I was doing, and I loved it. So
I wanted to do the PCT since like I was
young,
very young,
a youngin,
yeah,
youngling,
yeah. But I never thought I'd do it.
And now we're sectioning it, so that's pretty cool. We've covered like 300 miles, probably more than that because we've like done day hikes and stuff on PCT.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that's how that started. How long have you been backpacking and hiking? We just kind of went over that.
Yeah, I only did it once when I was 26, but then when we started dating, we
jumped on it
discussed
like, right away.
Yeah. It was kind of just like, oh, you like hiking, I like hiking.
Yeah, and you had talked about backpacking with your ex, but you guys never actually did it, right?
Yeah, my ex and I had planned on backpacking a lot, and long story short, it just didn't work out. A lot of things didn't work out. So, so when I knew you were interested in hiking, I think that's how we started like hanging out though, was hiking.
Yeah, we went on a couple hikes, and then I was supposed to move. I was going to have to move because I couldn't afford the area, and my roommates were terrible, and I couldn't stay staying in that house anymore, so we started to get to know each other, and then I moved in.
Yeah, I had an extra room in the house. My roommate just moved out. I actually didn't want anyone to move in. I wanted to see if I could live by myself, but California's too expensive for that. Let's just be honest.
We had separate rooms, if that counts for anything.
We did have separate rooms. I also really didn't want them to move in because I just felt like it was way too soon.
It was. We'd only been hanging out for like a couple weeks.
Yeah, like literally a couple weeks.
Yeah. So we kind of just moved in as roommates.
I didn't even know if he liked me at the time.
Yeah.
We started dating before you moved in.
Yeah, I shot you that text that one day.
It was a real dick move.
Yeah. I had to know before I moved in, right? So I just texted them and was like, hey, do you like me? And you were at your friend's house, and we're just like, nope, and put the phone down. I just
read the phone and like turned it over. I was like, I'm not answering that right now.
So I sat up anxious all night for like the next 8 hours, and then finally you were like, yes, I do, but if that's gonna make it weird, I'm willing to like put those feelings aside so that you can stay in California. Yeah, which is really big, I think, for anyone.
I mean, I could have moved past it to be friends with you because we were clearly getting along.
Right.
So I mean, we would have had different rooms. The house is very small though, so.
But joke's on you because I liked you back, so then we started dating, and then I moved in like 3 weeks down the line, and
they literally asked me out the next day after they sent that text, or the next time we hung out.
Yeah. I came to the front porch with the rose.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an awkward moment. I like knock on the door all like cute with like a rose or a bouquet. Was it just a rose?
It was a rose.
It was just one. And I was like, hey, since you like me and I like you, like, would you maybe want to be my boyfriend? And you were all like giddy or whatever, but like.
I just said, you want me to be your boyfriend? And then I walked in the house.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, well, it's like 10 steps to get back to my car, or I could walk inside and ask the question again, or I could just disappear and never be in California ever again, and like all these things ran through my mind. And then we walked inside, and I was like, wait, oh, you took the rose out of my hand. That's what it was. You took the rose and then went inside.
I didn't take it like this.
Well, I mean, that's how it felt.
Thank you.
Yeah. and then that was it. And so then I had to ask you again, so is that a yes? And you were like...
Again, as I stated in a past video, I was in a place in my life where I had been single for the longest time in my life. I needed that. I was working on myself. I was having a good time. And then this person came along and was charming and cute. And I was like, I mean, we could hang out, whatever. But I never expected it to be serious.
And here we are.
And then it got serious. And I don't regret any of it. But I would like to say that it just wasn't meshing with what my plans were at the time.
And we're both awkward, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Anxiety is...
Yeah, my awkward comes out as being a little bit... abrasive. I think sometimes I'm being funny, but it's just... it's funny in my head, and my face doesn't always show it, so it's like dry humor.
Yeah. Okay, that was way off topic, so I think we're doing good so far.
Yeah.
Speaking of anxiety, how do you manage your anxiety as you plan trips?
Oh man, I mean, I think we just each have our own things that we're good at, and thankfully you are so much better at the things that put me in my debilitating anxious state.
Yeah, so we've only done one big road trip together. Most of our trips are backpacking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have to drive to get to the backpacking places a lot of times.
Yeah, I'm okay with the driving stuff. I can like map that stuff out usually.
Yeah. We really didn't plan for our big road trip. We kind of just were hoping for the best and went for it.
And turned out really well.
It did turn out really well. All of our backpacking trips, if we're doing a big backpacking trip, I'm usually the one who lays out the food.
I cannot deal with the food.
I'm kind of like I need to figure out how many calories each day I need, so that means I need to lay it all out and like day by day and figure out what I have. And then when we ship our boxes for like section hiking the PCT, you need to know how many days need to go in a box, right? So I'm pretty good at laying all that out. And
you're good at numbers.
I'm really good at numbers, yeah.
And I'm not good at numbers. I'm good at concepts and like ideas.
Yeah. So usually Jay comes up with the idea like, hey, 2020, we're going to hike this section. What do you think about this? And I'll be like, yeah, let me figure out what this section of this section would be in 3 weeks. And then Jay will be like, hey, we need to figure out how we're going to get there and how we're going to get back.
But I am good at figuring out the transportation part because...
Yeah, I struggle with that.
Yeah, I've been the one mapping out how to try to juggle one car and doing a through hike and trying to find public transportation to get back to things. Yeah. And that's not me tooting my own horn, that's just...
You have strengths and I have weaknesses, and I have strengths and you have weaknesses.
Yeah, like, you're just... Yeah, we just even each other out. But also, I think that comes down to just communicating with each other what is too overwhelming and what is not. Yeah. My communication tends to be shutting down and freaking out when it comes to the food, and then you kind of...
I could take over and be like, these are the things, we're doing this. And then
that helps. And it helps me out, too, so...
So I guess we just kind of balance each other out in a way.
Yeah.
We talk about it. And sometimes we take things day by day, too. Like, if something's not working out and I can't figure out the numbers for the day... Jay's not going to take over on numbers because I'm the numbers guy. Yeah. So we'll just shut down for the day, decompress, try something else, and then the next day or next week or whatever, like we give ourselves enough time usually to figure that out.
And
usually,
if I have to be honest, when it comes to the larger hikes where you're going to be having resupply boxes and you're going into towns to get more food, honestly, you don't need everything figured out. And that's what we discovered on the last trip was... It
worked for me, but it didn't work for Jay.
No, I found out that there's a lot of things that I just cannot stomach. But we thought that, you needed to have every food plan and like every calorie planned. And for you, that works out well. For me, I need like a skeleton of an idea where it's like, I know that I have these things for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner and some snacks. But when I hit town, I'm going to buy whatever sounds good at the time.
And I save money by not buying whatever sounds good at the time.
Right. So it's hit or miss. But with that said, even if you didn't have everything that you absolutely needed, you can get things in most towns. And we have a lot of food restrictions, and we're still able to find food in town.
Sometimes it's pricier, but it works out.
Yeah. So you don't need everything planned necessarily. If the day comes and you have to leave, like, just fucking go for it, I guess. But have enough water. Please have enough water.
Always have enough water.
Yeah.
Okay, final question. Plans for 2020. Well, coronavirus of 2020 has killed most of our hopes and dreams.
2020 is on hold.
Yeah, everything's on hold.
We're actually not really sure what we're doing for anything.
Yeah, our original plan was to be saving money right now by not going on too many trips. And then this summer, at the end of July, to do a 3-week trip where our best friends were going to marry us on the first day of our trip on the PCT, close to Mount Whitney. And then they were going to either hike with us or not hike with us for however long they wanted to while we did our 3-week honeymoon. And then we would come back, and in October, we were going to have our reception where we invite everybody to celebrate with us in a local park place. And then we were hoping that maybe people could contribute to a GoFundMe to help us with our first home, which would be our trailer, which we would get at the end of this year, and then we could start traveling full-time in our in our trailer. Since coronavirus hit, everything is on hold. We're not really sure if the PCT will be open again in July.
Yeah, it's like, it's possible to hike, but in my opinion, and I think you share the same opinion, I don't think it's responsible to do through hikes right now. We're still working right now, and we work in a very public place. So it's like, if we haven't gotten COVID-19 yet, we probably will by then. And hopefully we would just be symptom-free carriers, as weird as that is to say. But if we were carriers, we would be carrying that with us. And, we probably won't see anybody on trail. We're not hyper social. But going into small towns, like, we're planning on hitting Independence, and then I think VVR.
Yeah,
and
just
MTR.
Any hitching that we'd have to do. Like, we'd have to get in somebody's car, and then maybe they could get it.
Yeah, and the thing about those areas, because I'm going to get on my soapbox right now, is they are very small. And I have a friend who is a friend that works at the Bishop Hospital, and he was saying they haven't had any cases yet, but this isn't main hiker season for the Sierras yet. As far as I know, Yosemite doesn't have any cases yet either. But you also have to realize that those are very small mountain towns that either do not have access to a close hospital, or, as I've been told, the hospital in Bishop has 2 ventilators, and that's it. So it really just takes one hiker to go into town and give it to somebody else and really,
we don't want to be that guy,
screw over the whole town. So I just don't feel safe. I don't feel good about going hiking if we do have to go into small towns and come in contact with people. In addition to that, the PCT has requested that people do not do through hikes for these reasons. So we're looking at like a few different options. If the PCT opens, we're considering doing the hike and just being hyper vigilant about staying away from people, shipping ourselves our own food, bringing masks with us, so when we do go into town,
post office or whatever.
Yeah, not dining out, just staying the fuck away from everybody.
Yeah.
And if it is open and that is
An
a
option.
Possibility, and it seems that we're comfortable with it, we'll probably go through with it. But if it's not open, we could do a backpacking trip somewhere, because as long as you're not going into towns, it's pretty safe.
We could
in
do
my
like a week
opinion.
where we could carry stuff, probably.
Yeah, so I think we can make about a week with our own food, and then maybe do a private, just one-on-one ceremony with each other.
Yeah. And just turn in the paperwork whenever the courthouse opens and all that kind of stuff. And
we have
call it
decided
a day.
though that we want to get married while hiking. So, and then if all else fails, which isn't really on the tables yet, we could postpone. Because this is something that we both want, but we both want it to work for us.
Yeah.
So, a wedding it's not essential. IMO.
Yeah, I mean, we plan on spending, as most engaged couples do, we plan on spending the rest of our lives together, and we've already got some time behind us, and we're hoping to have a lot of time in front of us, and it's not... a wedding isn't the start of our relationship. It's not like the start of our family or a new life. kind of just something that we were doing for a lot of other people, which is why we reduced it to just us at the
we're doing it
ceremony.
for us now, but we want to make sure that it is still for us.
Yeah, and so we're not gonna, I don't know, it'll be fine. Whatever happens, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, but we may have to cancel the reception because if there is a second wave in the fall, that would be the start of it. And
all of my family's from out of town, so they'd have to fly to get here.
Yeah. So, I mean, we might just put off the reception, which is easy. You know, I like to say that we haven't spent barely any money on our wedding. I have spent less than $100, maybe $100 on my whatever I'm wearing. The park we rented was $50
for the whole day.
For the whole day. We were planning on doing a potluck where other people bring food and booze and stuff. And I mean, we don't have the money to spend on a wedding, but we also haven't invested thousands of dollars as a lot of people do. So, you know, whoever wants to go and get married out there, that's y'all's business. Be responsible about it. I understand if you spend a lot of money, it may not be an option to not do. For us, it's an option.
And we're thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're broke, so we couldn't spend a ton of money on a wedding, but also it ended up working out for us in our favor. So that's kind of the plan. And as far as the RV situation goes, we were talking about it earlier today, and we think we might just kind of postpone it for a little while.
Yeah, I have a car payment right now that I was hoping that would be done with so that we could start a new car payment. So we're just going to wait until that's over with, which is probably more responsible anyway. And then don't lick your butt on TV. Don't. And yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. We're content with where we live right now. We're not excited about it, which is why we're trying to move out. But we are content with it. And if we can save money by being here, here we are. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we're close to work. We have places that we can hike in the area. And I mean, it's not a bad life, honestly. But I would like to move forward. I am feeling a little bit in limbo, which I'm sure, you know, thousands, if not more, people are feeling as if their life is on hold and they're in limbo. So
here's to 2020.
Yeah, I my heart goes out to everybody that is struggling, and I wish that there was more that I could do for other people. But right now all I can do is try and be safe and responsible.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing.
And love these stupid cats. I love them. They're not stupid. They're a little bit dumb.
Thank you.
Yeah, he licks faces.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for asking questions.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Okay.